Hello and welcome to Forever Sports. And as we're often getting used to, actually, SA Rugby have issued another press release on a Friday afternoon regarding the equity deal and kind of the status. And seems to be a bit of a clarity sort of release to try and inform the South African public, the media, and the works exactly what is happening behind the scenes, what the different parties are, and how it is working. And this is due to some of the sort of the technicalities that are apparently being misreported or misunderstood by a lot of the South African public, and they're sort of trying to clarify the situation. There's no actual update with regards to where we are in terms of the equity deal. Obviously, we know that ASG's bid actually expired last year, end of the year, and thus it is basically anyone's opportunity to potentially bid. Now they look for new bidders. But they basically kind of sort of clarified the process and kind of the companies and parties involved in the process, which involve, for example, BDO and a new company, which, by the way, is phenomenally named. So this is, before we go to the press release, please smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And this is basically what they sort of set out. So apparently the Executive Council met today and they were discussing the stakeholder concerns that were raised by certain media reports relating to the technicalities to the transaction being the equity deal itself, the equity transaction as they refer to in the release. And it says it's talking about the investment from ASG, which failed to meet the 75% vote that was required for it to go through. And the big sort of clarification they sought to basically or clarify is what the company, wait for it, Win by One PTI Limited is and the subdivision of the fee that is going to be payable to all the different international brokers for the deal as well. First of all, phenomenal banter to have a Win by One PTY Limited as the company, obviously in relation to the Box wins in the World Cup. So 10 out of 10 for naming. We all thought that was it the greatest rugby company ever down in PE was not a bad one, but I think this takes the cake. So phenomenal name, absolutely brilliant. But then this is basically, so what's basically happened is that there's been an independent review. An audit firm has been commissioned by SA Rugby to basically assure all the stakeholders that what's going on in the actual transaction and the thing is all legit and all being done properly. So basically, what is Win by One? Win by One is a special purpose vehicle, and it's 100% owned by Soru, and it was set up for the purpose of the equity deal. So the equity partner would acquire its shareholding from the special vehicle. So they would acquire their shareholding from Win by One Pty Limited, which is currently 100% owned by Soru. It is a tax registered company, and basically it's going to perform all the functions of the new sort of this entity. So basically the whole arm that they're sort of talking about is new on this commercial arm, basically. And apparently where the confusion's coming in is that ASG themselves, actually Sports Group, have a company called the Win by One LLP company, and apparently they've got nothing to do with SA Rugby. SA Rugby have got no interest in it. It's an international jurisdiction, not South African jurisdiction, so it's a completely separate company, the Win by One Pty Limited. The creation of a Win by One was performed by BDO on SA instruction, and basically it requires at least one director until the board of the new company has been formulated, and that director is currently the CEO of SA Rugby, Rian Olberholzer. And so that's kind of what it is. So Win by One is the sort of commercial branch arm base that's been created, the special purpose vehicle as they name it, and then the equity deal basically a stake in this company. Then the second part of the review was the sort of the transactional fees, and this is where it gets a little bit technical in terms of what the fees are. But there's not too much to talk about. Basically, a provision was made for about 15% costs towards the equity transaction. 5% was identified to cover the transactional fees for lawyers, mergers, acquisition specialists, and the likes. There was going to be a fee for 10% fee for the brokers for the agreement that's been negotiated down to 8%. And they're basically trying to reassure that all these sort of different fees and the structures were agreed on by the members' council, for example, and that the way that they've done it has all been legit, basically. So apparently, as the professional fees incurred by SA Rugby are to be carried by SA Rugby, so any fees like that, and no fees have been paid to any brokers as the deal has not gone through. So we have not paid any brokers any fees for the equity deal, given the fact that it's not officially gone through. a lot of technical jargon in there and lots of very sort of nitty gritty stuff. So I don't really want to dive too much into it. But yeah, the main thing is that the special purpose vehicle is the win by one company, and then any extra deal basically buying a share into that company. There's no board at the moment. It's very much basically like almost a holding company, I suppose. In terms of, well, not maybe such a holding company, but more just a company that's basically there for what's going to become the whole sort of operational side of the commercialization of SA Rugby. So, yeah, so if anybody had any questions about that, hopefully you're a little bit more informed about what's going on. I first just love the name. But yeah, at this stage, no sort of new bids and the likes of that. So for all purposes, you know, you don't really need to worry too much about this. But just when you start to see these kind of things being reported in different media reports and the likes, you can hopefully be a bit more informed about what's going on. But more to the rugby, there's EPCR this weekend. We'll be live tomorrow for 2 watch-alongs. We've got the preview out as well. So let me know what your score predictions are and the likes down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you guys all very soon.